Donald Trump is at the center of a pseudo-religious cult prophecy. His most loyal followers truly believe him to be a type of divine, messianic, and all-powerful leader. In reality, there is nothing divine or messianic about Donald Trump. He is a mere mortal who has been credibly accused of many serious crimes. Nevertheless, right-wing Christian evangelicals and Christo-fascists, to the degree those two groups are distinct and separate from one another, have rationalized their support of Donald Trump and Trumpism through the biblical myth of Cyrus. The belief is that God uses a wicked man as a tool of divine destiny and will. There is a disturbing phenomenon going on among conservative evangelicals, a Christian nationalist movement in which Trump can only be described as an irreplaceable figure whose political success is crucial to God's plan for redeeming a sinful world. 55% of white evangelicals agree with Sarah Huckabee Sanders that God wanted Trump to be president.
Mr. President, in the Bible, rain is a sign of God's blessing. And it started to rain, Mr. President, when you came to the platform. And it's my prayer that God will bless you, your family, your administration, and may He bless America.
Energy Secretary Rick Perry made an interesting declaration about President Trump and how he came to be president.
God's used imperfect people all through history. King David wasn't perfect. Saul wasn't perfect. Solomon wasn't perfect. And I actually gave the president a little one-pager on those Old Testament kings about a month ago. And I shared it with him. I said, Mr. President, I know there are people that say, you know, you said you were the chosen one. And I said, you were. I said, if you're a believing Christian, you understand God's plan for the people who rule and judge over us on this planet in our government.
But then and now, Donald Trump is her vote for president.
I totally believe that God has assigned him to this position. That is my true belief.
Assigned him to be the president of the United States?
Yes. And that he'll be president again.
From a spiritual perspective, for such a time as this, Donald Trump, of all people, to be, as you said earlier in the interview, the most conservative president, I mean, does it kind of, in a way, blow your mind that, you know, someone like Donald Trump, who is sitting in the Oval Office, I mean, I know you can list the accomplishments, but at the same time, just from a spiritual perspective, there are a lot of Christians that believe for such a time as this.
I think God calls all of us to fill different roles at different times, and I think that he wanted Donald Trump to become president, and that's why he's there. And I think he has done a tremendous job in supporting a lot of the things that people of faith really care about.
And on June 14th, 1946, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God gave us Trump. God said, I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, fix this country, work all day, fight the Marxists, eat supper, then go to the Oval Office and stay past midnight at a meeting of the heads of state. So God made Trump. I need somebody with arms, strong enough to rustle the deep state, and yet gentle enough to deliver his own grandchild. Somebody to ruffle the feathers, tame cantankerous World Economic Forum, come home hungry, have to wait until the First Lady is done with lunch with friends, then tell the ladies to be sure and come back real soon, and mean it. So God gave us Trump. I need somebody who can shape an axe, but wield a sword, who had the courage to step foot in North Korea, who can make money from the tar of the sand, turn liquid to gold, who understands the difference between tariffs and inflation, will finish his 40-hour week by Tuesday noon, but then put in another 72 hours. So God made Trump. God had to have somebody willing to go into the den of vipers, call out the fake news for their tongues as sharp as a serpent's. The poison of vipers is on their lips, and yet stop. So God made Trump. God said, I need somebody who will be strong and courageous, who who will not be afraid or terrified of the wolves when they attack, a man who cares for the flock, a shepherd to mankind who won't ever leave nor forsake them. I need the most diligent worker to follow the path and remain strong in faith and know the belief of God and country, somebody who's willing to drill, bring back manufacturing and American jobs, farm the lands, secure our borders, build our military, fight the system all day, and finish a hard week's work by attending church on Sunday. And then his oldest son turns and says, "Dad, let's make America great again. Dad, let's build back a country to be the envy of the world again." So God made Trump.
The Sixth Amendment guarantees the right of the defendant to face their accuser. But not only have the Democrats prohibited Republicans and the president from questioning the so-called whistleblower, his identity has been kept secret. Before you take this historic vote today, 1 week before Christmas, I want you to keep this in mind. When Jesus was falsely accused of treason, Pontius Pilate gave Jesus the opportunity to face his accusers. During that sham trial, Pontius Pilate afforded more rights to Jesus than the Democrats have afforded this president in this process. I yield back.
Joseph D. McBride posted a tweet. President Trump will be arrested during Lent, a time of suffering and purification for the followers of Jesus Christ. As Christ was crucified and then rose again on the third day, so too will Donald Trump. Violence is never the answer. Winning the election is. Vote for Trump. James Martin replied to that. Donald Trump will not be nailed to a cross. He will not die on a cross. He will not rise from the dead after 3 days. In case you missed the point, Donald Trump is not the Messiah, not the Savior, and not Jesus. And winning the election is not the antidote to violence. Love is.
President Trump is joining some of the most incredible people in history being arrested today. Nelson Mandela was arrested, served time in prison. Jesus was arrested and murdered by the Roman government. There have been many people throughout history that have been arrested and persecuted by radical, corrupt governments. And it's beginning today in New York City. And I just can't believe it's happening, but I'll always support him. He's done nothing wrong.
Boy, I tell you, this is borderline lunacy. Here's another example of just how loyal Trump's followers are. 6 years ago, when he had his meeting with the Queen, you can Google images, you can probably even see some footage. The Queen waited for 12 minutes. Trump was 12 minutes late for his tea with the Queen. At the rally he had immediately following that, he said, "I was asked to have tea with the Queen, who is incredible, by the way, incredible. I landed, I'm on the ground, and I'm waiting with the King's and the Queen's guards, wonderful people. I'm waiting. I was about 15 minutes early, and I'm waiting with my wife, and that's fine. Hey, it's the Queen, right? We can wait, but I'm a little early." And the crowd cheered. Despite all this evidence that the Queen was left waiting, no. First thing Trump says they believe. Trump supporters are brainwashed, man. So yeah, all these comparisons between him and Jesus, that's blasphemy. That's blasphemy. You want to compare Jesus and Trump? Try this on for size. Jesus would say, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." Trump would say, "I don't want a poor person in my cabinet." Jesus would say, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God." Trump would say, "I'm going to bomb the H-E-L-L out of them." Jesus would say, "He who looks after a woman with lust has already committed adultery in his heart." Trump would say, "I woke up and grabbed them by the pussy." Jesus would say, "The last shall be first, and the first shall be last." Trump would say, "I'm a winner at everything I do." Jesus would say, "Come unto me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Trump would say, "You're fired." This video is not an endorsement for Joe Biden. This video is not an anti-Republican video. This video is not a pro-Democrat video. This video is an idolatry video. Stop treating this man like an idol. Stop treating this man like a god. He is human just like the rest of us. President or not, he does not deserve to be put on that type of pedestal. Comparing him to Jesus is blasphemy. Stop it.